Let's talk about high-stakes language exams. If you've ever faced one, you know the feeling. The pressure is just immense. We're talking about situations where your immigration status, your spot at a university, maybe your entire career hinges on a single score. It's the kind of thing that turns learning a language from a fun hobby into this super high-pressure performance. So, is it really just a test? I think anyone who's been through it knows the answer is a hard no. It's a life event, right? Failure has these immediate, real world consequences. This isn't about getting a C in a class, this is about your future. And that means you need a completely different way of thinking about how you study.
Okay, so let's dive into this idea right here. The key is a total mindset shift. You're no longer just a student, passively taking in information. You have to become a project manager. And what's the project? Strategically mastering a really complex system, all while the clock is ticking.
And that brings us to the absolute core of the system we're going to break down. Thinking of your exam as a project, with you as the lead strategist, well, it isn't just some clever little analogy. It's the entire operating system for how you learn. It's designed to bring structure and clarity to what's usually a pretty stressful and chaotic process. This mindset changes the game immediately. From the very first meeting, it sets up this professional, goal-oriented partnership. You're not just having casual chats, you're running agenda-driven project kickoffs. Every single minute has a purpose, creating a framework where you don't just hope for progress, you actually engineer it.
So, like any good project manager, you need the right tools. For serious remote learning, a professional tech stack isn't optional anymore. It's absolutely mandatory if you want quality control and efficiency. Let's take a look at the specific toolkit this system depends on.
First things first, you need a single source of truth. OneDrive acts as that centralized project hub. All your course materials, custom grammar guides, homework submissions, graded work, everything lives right here. It totally eliminates confusion and, version control issues. You always know exactly where to find the latest file. No more digging through emails.
Next up, the project schedule. This gets managed with Microsoft To Do. And what's so cool about this is how it takes that vague, fuzzy idea of I should study and turns it into a concrete action plan. Deadlines and milestones are tracked, so accountability is totally mutual and visible. You know exactly what you need to do and when it needs to get done.
And then comes the data. Excel is the quantitative engine of this whole project. It's used to track hard metrics, how often you make a certain error, improvements in speed, how fast your vocabulary is growing. This isn't about how you feel your progress is going. It's about objective data that shows you exactly where you're getting better and where you need to focus. Now, this might be the most critical tool in the whole stack. The system it mandates the use of Microsoft Word's track changes for all written feedback. And I'm not kidding, this isn't a suggestion, it's a very precise technical requirement.
So here's why that's a huge deal. You don't just see the final, corrected version of your essay. You see every single addition, every deletion, every comment. It forces you to actually engage with the process of correction. It turns feedback from just a simple grade into this structured, reviewable, and quantifiable learning event.
Okay, so now that we have the tools in place, let's look at the method itself. This is the system that finally gives you an answer to that terrifying question every single learner faces late at night. What should I actually study tonight? It just replaces all that anxiety with a clear, actionable plan.
The answer is a super strict priority sequence, P1 to P4. P1 is the foundation. It's totally non-negotiable. P2 forces you into active production, writing, because that's the ultimate test of whether you've really learned the grammar. And that gets prioritized over the more passive skills in P3. Only then do you move on to P4. This whole approach enforces total discipline, making sure you never waste time on tasks that give you less bang for your buck. So what happens when you keep making this same mistake over and over? Instead of just giving you more generic grammar exercises, this system uses something we can call surgical weakness tracking. Your specific repeated errors get logged into a personalized file, which basically becomes this living, breathing document of your own unique challenges.
And this illustrates it perfectly. That personalized document becomes your custom training manual. Every piece of feedback, every single correction is designed to target your specific weak points. It turns every single assignment into a roadmap for what to work on next.
A system this structured is only as good as its results, right? So let's pivot from the how to the what, the verified success that proves this whole project management approach actually works.
So this methodology, it's built on over 7,000 hours of teaching experience. And when you have that much data, you move way beyond just intuition. You get deep into pattern recognition. You know exactly where students tend to fail, and more importantly, you know precisely how to build a system to get them past those hurdles.
And that expertise, it's also validated out in the real world. We're seeing #1 rankings on professional listing sites based on having the most positive reviews. This kind of cross-platform credibility is so important for building trust, especially when the stakes are so incredibly high for the person learning.
But you know, the ultimate proof is in the student outcomes. The system has a proven track record of taking learners from absolute beginner, A1, all the way up to DSH3. And let's be crystal clear, DSH3 is the absolute pinnacle of German language study. It's the advanced academic fluency you need to get directly into a German university, a level that, honestly, many native speakers might not even hit on a formal test. This shows the system isn't just effective, it's scalable to the highest levels imaginable. So let's bring this all together. While we've been looking at this through the lens of learning German, the core principles of this system, well, they're universally applicable. This is really about the logistics of learning itself. And ultimately, that's the big takeaway. Quantified time, prioritized tasks, tech-driven transparency in your feedback, and surgically tracking your weaknesses. This is a blueprint you can literally use to master any complex skill, turning the chaos and stress of learning into a project that's manageable, measurable, and maybe even rewarding. Which leaves us with one last kind of provocative question to think about. For any serious goal, does optimizing your learning logistics, the system, the tools, the disciplined workflow, ultimately matter more for your success than just putting in raw, unstructured hours? Is the operational system the real key to passing the test?